Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Humanities United Martial Arts Network. I'm Shane, back with Marcus Koval. Marcus brought in his friend Rudy Reyes, Recon Marine. Rudy, tell us your story. I mean, well, let me just
Where do we
preface.
start?
I was just going to say this is a very hard one to organize, but let me start by saying this: that Rudy was an hour early. Before he was supposed to get here. He's a soldier, and instantly just started training. He's like, you got a heavy bag, shirt comes off, starts hitting the heavy bag, starts doing his squats, his lunges. Absolutely contagious energy. Thank you so much for coming on, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's so wild. So I'm a fan of Shane's for some time. I had no idea the context. Marcus invited me out, but I reached out to Marcus about 2-3 weeks ago. Dog, I have not worked a heavy bag for a while. And as you know, all skills are perishable.
Yeah.
All skills are perishable. And I said, hey, you've got a heavy bag. Can I? He said, all right, bro. And he's like, here's the gloves. Let's work. And I got to work a little bit. It's fantastic. And
It's not just a heavy bag. It's the heavy bag. It's the fightTIPS heavy bag.
yes, I noticed. I'm like, I'm in the studio. I mean, anyway, it's so rad. I would say the takeaway for our audience is when you're living in your purest of intentions and truth, magical things continuously happen. And through my entire journey, especially regaining my mental and spiritual health and confidence in the last 5 years, I have chipped away at all negative things and put aside all relationships of any sort that do not fulfill me inside. And that is why I'm living in magic. I mean, I've known you for a little bit of time. I understand your warrior journey for Liam, and then we end up at XPT together with Gabrielle Reese and Mother Frapp and Laird Hamilton and professional football players and Recon brothers and Navy SEALs and pro dancers. Yeah. And now I'm here with Shane. I mean, I'm a fan of this guy. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow. So that's it.
And that's part of the reason why I thought you would be perfect for this, because one, the positivity that you have, your like Shane said, your contagious energy, but you have been a soldier. You have been to war. You've seen the ugly side of war that is, a lot of times romanticized in movies and so on.
Very much so.
And I do want to talk about that and the dark side. You went to war with one of the top elite units in the world to one of the darkest places on earth, not because of the country, but because of the war-torn environment that you stepped into.
Yes.
How did you go from that to one, living down there and then coming back?
Well, the journey home, I'm still doing. I'm still in the process of the journey home. And you know what? It's so wild because I'm older. I'm 48 now, and I saw the Vietnam films, and my father was a Vietnam veteran. I'm a child of the Vietnam era, born in 1971. And we didn't learn the lessons. We saw these brothers falling apart and then losing identity and then going into drugs, mental illness, suicide. And as a culture, human culture, we were asleep at the wheel. I'll tell you what, when I started falling apart, actually the truth is I started falling apart a month after I got out of Fallujah. It's just I was so mentally aggressive. I didn't look at the signs, and I was just too ballistic. No one wouldn't tell me anything, and I wouldn't listen anyway. I was a warlord out there, and we talked earlier, Shane. I was a warlord by the end, and I became an obsessive workaholic. Mm-hmm. I used to train so hard, brothers. I started teaching boxing. It was the only thing I could do for a living. I had no skills but war skills, right? And I started training at the Encinitas Boxing Club. Gracie Baja had just started there, and I started with these classes. And this infectious happiness and energy. My classes started with 3 people, and they
Which location, sorry?
Encinitas.
Encinitas. Oh, yeah.
Packed the houses, but I was making $20 a class. So I did 7 or 8 classes a day.
Oh my gosh.
And I led every workout.
Oh.
I led every workout. Conditioning, skills, bag work. I did it all because I still thought I was weak because I did not have a gun and I was not engaging the enemy and no one was trying to kill me. So I thought the very least I can do is punish myself with training in pain. Brother, I lasted like that for 8 years.
No.
Before the fucking wheels fell off. So that process of coming home, that's why I do what I do now. That's why I'm out here with Force Blue, rebuilding coral reefs with my nonprofit. Also, my acting, modeling, everything I do. My goal is that people are excited about me, so they see what makes me tick, and it's about service and bringing the brothers and sisters home.
I love it. And you said your team of Crocodile you were with down there as well. You guys saw the dark side of humanity down there.
Yes,
right?
we did. And we fought in Pakistan and Afghanistan in 2001 first. The towers were hit. Eric Cucker and I and my other brothers in 2nd Platoon, we were on a ship when the towers fell. We sped to the Persian Gulf and then jumped on birds and flew into Pakistan to rock and roll and do counterterrorism or counter sniper, counter recon patrols, and then into Afghanistan to take Kandahar, which is Alexander, where Alexander the Great, the furthest place he went. And the first casualties I saw were Green Berets. That close air support mission went wrong and dropped bombs on their position.
Yeah, friendly fire.
Yeah, and then we had to go out there and freaking fight. We were lucky that none of us were hurt or killed because we were so sharp and we were so angry and we were so dedicated to each other. But then when we went back to lead the invasion with Captain Fick, Gunny Wynn, all these beautiful people, then we started seeing even more carnage, especially with civilians caught in the middle. Yeah, it was just immense. Yet, I had a code and I had a team. I had a platoon. We all believed in each other. I did not feel ill at all. Not then. And then Fallujah and Ramadi, I just started noticing, I didn't notice, but when I got back, my loved ones noticed that something was different with me. And by then I was used to being in charge all the time. That I said, it's not my fucking problem, it's your fucking problem. And that's not me. As you know me, since you know that's not me, but that became me. That's what it does. Sometimes I go to Man Tribe, this thing I do in Venice with my bro Alexander Hill and Troy Casey. It's really special. We're doing men's work and it really helps me. And we do deep Wim Hof style breathing and then ice baths, and then I teach Qigong, and now I'm teaching some Shotokan and Shorinji-ro karate to give the guys some freaking training and make them feel connected to each other. Like, that's what we love about martial art, right? And we open up for the circle, and some of the brothers, they share things like, I'm struggling with my woman, or I'm struggling with THC, and I'm smoking too much or whatever like that. And then I'm thinking, fuck, I'm struggling, like pulling this freaking little girl out of the back of this freaking van, and her fucking brain's coming out of the back of her head. And I'm struggling, leaving this family that helped me out there, and I had to leave them behind, and things like that. And I had that locked down inside of me for so long, and now it's out, and I need to get it out. So yeah, that was a world that we lived in. I kidnapped some men from their homes in the cover of darkness and blew up their homes and caught it on fire, and you hear little kids crying. And also sometimes I was lucky and glorious when the enemy tried to kill me and I got to kill them. That was the good times. The bad times is everything in between.
Why do you think it's so hard for men to open up? Like you said, you have this, which I think is great, by the way, this group for men to be comfortable being around other alpha males.
Yes, sir.
And why is it so hard for men to open up and talk about what the only way you can heal is to open up, right?
Yes. I think it's so difficult because we have a stigma that we're either so strong, or in this modern first world, we've lost the connection to our warrior spirit. In the warrior spirit, we get to, even when we spar and contest, we're so connected to the baseline of what it means to be human and what it means to be a man. We are designed as men to protect women and children and to protect the village. And as martial artists, I think because we got into it so young, that's why we knew intuitively to be strong, but temper the strength with the code is the way of the warrior, the way of a man.